Modest beer, New England pale ale, succulent and hazy, cloudy yet full of sunshine, 4.2% in a dinky 330ml can. It's brewed up in Northern Ireland in Hollywood, and that is Hollywood with one L. Up next. Hey, welcome back to Views on Brews. I am Brendan, and this is a dinky little 330ml can. I've kept the 440ml can here next to it for size comparison. Sometimes I like these cans. I like them as a little bit of a mix and match if you're going to go in for grabbing a few different versions or a few different styles of beer, but from the same brewery. A mix and match is always a good way of going about it. Although the government, of course, here in the Republic have got in the way of that a little bit with their new multi-pack purchase regulations. But anyway, independent off licenses have gotten around that, of course, by let me just put that there. Repricing their beer to suit. Some beers I have noticed in the after the regulation came in, some beers have gone up in price, others have maintained their price points. Beers like the White Hag, for instance, what were 4 for $10 are now $2.50 each. Beers from other breweries, I'm not going to mention it, but I know one brewery that was doing 3 for $9 are now selling them for $3.60 or $3.30 or $3.40 a can. Anyway, there's a markup on it since the regulations have changed. Not quite sure where Modest are in terms of pricing, but a friend bought me this one down when he was on a recent trip up there. But what I really want to talk about is what this can of beer does that a lot of other cans of beers don't do. And I think that all beers in Ireland, Republic, across the entire planet should tell you the ingredients inside the can. When I go to a supermarket and pick up any product, any food stuff off of the shelves that's packaged, there is always a full ingredient list on the back. I'm not talking about calories, although calories I found very useful on the back of non-alcoholic beers. But what I am talking about is what this brewery and this little can has done so well. The hops in this beer are Simcoe, are Citra, are Mosaic. The grain bill is Maris Otter. So it's not just telling you that it's a base malt of pale ale malt of some description. It's telling you it's Maris Otter, there's Pilsner malt in here, there are naked oats, and there is wheat malt in here. And it tells you the yeast as well. Lallemand New England style yeast in this beer. We're a little independent brewery crafting small batch beers for discerning drinkers, brewed and canned in Hollywood with one L. I love that. They've told me absolutely everything I need to know about this beer on the label, and a small label, and they've wasted no time with all that fluff about, mythology and, all the stuff that, sometimes it's kind of nice, but sometimes it gets a little bit jading when breweries go to the trouble of putting fun stuff on the back, but missing out on telling you what is exactly inside the can or bottle of beer that you've bought. Have a look at this. Beautiful sunshine sort of sunsetting kind of hue to the beer. Very bright, very inviting. Nice rocky head on the top of it. If I spin that up, I'm going to get more on top of it still. Bringing it to the nose, I get that distinct juiciness with a bit of tropical notes backing it up. It's got Simcoe in it, so my mind is already talking to me about things like passion fruit. Simcoe is one of those really old school New England IPA hops. Then it's got mosaic in it and citrus, so I'm going to get all that citrus, all that tropical, perhaps a twinge of bubblegum, and a nice little twist of grapefruit and a bit of mango. I'm sure I'm going to get all of that on here. More perhaps crisper body from it being a pale ale as opposed to an India pale ale. Anyway, cheers, sláinte, and let's give it a go. Well, there is a lighter body character to this beer. I mean, I can tell you that this beer is just so juicy. The fact that it has slightly less malt in the balance allows that tropical fruity juiciness to just really accentuate. It's actually activating my saliva glands as I'm talking about it. It's really juicy, but it's soft, it's pillowy, and it's light and refreshing and has a nice crispness to it. And that's where it differs from the India Pale Ale, which has a little bit more malt contribution to prop up those juicy tropical notes. Stunning beer from a really small, going under the radar type of a brewery that I'm sure a lot of people over 2021 and 2022 are going to get to recognize more. They're just a nice little brewery. I think it's like a single guy doing this. I forget his name now, but absolutely stunning. The flavors, there's a slight bit of resinous piney note to it. You're going to get that with Simcoe, but it drops off, really drops off, and it drops off without bitterness, which is really unique to this style. And you still get a nice bit of twinge of grapefruit and a decent amount of citrus going on in there. There's a good bit of juicy, fruity, tropical orange notes going on, and you get a sort of a fruit salad appeal to this beer. It's really nice. But what you don't get, and what I really like about it, is you don't get any astringency at all, 0%. And I think that's absolutely commendable. It's 4.2%. I have this theory that the higher the ABV, the more astringency you're going to get. Seems logical when you add in more malt and you add in more hops, pack it into the same size can, that you're going to get a whole bunch more astringency. But in this, I get absolutely none. And it really delivers on that nice, soft, cloudy, pillowy. I mean, this is just like heaven to drink. Now, I love West Coast IPAs, but I'd make a huge exception for a pale ale style New England beer. It's just crushable is a really good way of describing it. And it holds all of that flavour in, keeps that nice haze, but it doesn't come across as soupy, thick, murky, chalky, and creamy, which I think are things that detract from the New England IPA style at the higher end. Sensational. I've got nothing but good things to say about that beer. Succulent and hazy, fair play. Cloudy yet full of sunshine, absolutely bang on. And it just says those little bits on the front, and then it just gives you the ingredients on the back. How simple is that? And yet so many other breweries just don't seem to be able to or want to or feel the need to tell you what they have inside the can, and I think that should change. So this beer is getting a huge thumbs up from me. That's my view on this brew, all the way from up in Northern Ireland, Hollywood with one L. And cheers, sláinte. It's on to the next one. Bye bye.